Hey guys, this is a quick update on. So I finally decided what I'm gonna do with this tank. I was debating a couple of different things. First, I wanted to use it as a test for a new filtration system, and I also wanted to use it as a full-grown, just a fully planted tank, or not, sorry, a plant grow-out tank, just growing plants for profit, and also eventually for my own use. So I decided not to do any of that. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to complete the Neocardina, uh, Skittle kind of breeding project. So right now, as you know, I have blues and reds in this divided 20 long. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get yellow and orange in this, either yellow or green or yellow and orange. I'm not quite sure which one yet. It just kind of depends on popularity, I would say. And the other function of this tank is that it's going to be also a plants for profit tank as well. So it's going to be divided also. And on one side, it's going to be either only moss, like kind of in a. I'll do it. It's not really like a plant for profit. I'll also try to make like kind of a style to it. It'll be like a what's the word for it? Like a high rise style, if so to speak. So it'll be different plastic tiers going around, like in a Jenga like format, filled with moss. And the other one will be either guppy grass, um, lotus, maybe a combination of guppy grass because they're kind of easy. So guppy grass and either a dwarf water lettuce or just the duckweed for the top. Maybe just the dwarf water lettuce because I like the look of that too. So in this tank, probably won't be scaped in this side because maybe I'll do some type of. It's really hard to scape with only plants to make it kind of unique, and there's not enough space in one half of this tank to make it kind of to make it interesting, right? But the high-rise concept, I think, on this side will look interesting. So either yellows and then either orange or green, or they're called jade or pumpkin. Um, Neocardina. So then I'll have four different Neocardinas, and I will just sell off the excess that I have to, obviously to the community on eBay, so to speak. And the other thing I'm going to do is, since I'm not going to use this tank as a test for the new filtration system, I'm actually going to the do the filtration system in the discus tank, which has a lot of problems. And the problem is that the water quality keeps deteriorating like rapidly. There's like crap all over the gravel. It's extremely difficult to clean. The discus I think are doing okay, except for the one that died, obviously. Um, but there's just a ton of algae in here. There's a ton of particulates in the water, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to rescape. This is going to take, and it's going to be iffy. I already bought the net for it right here. Already bought a giant net to scoop the discus out. So I'm going to rescape this, and I'm going to just use kind of the original thing I did before, which is like a potted plant. So this would go inside all the gravel, it'll have like a gravel sand base, and then fluvial stratum, and then on top of that we'll have a gravel, just to keep all the gunk out of it. So and then on the bottom will just be gravel. So and the new, going back to, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to kind of review this yet, but the new filtration system, I don't really care. Like, if you want to do it, do it. The new filtration system will be basically a all-in-one system powered by one of these air pumps. And this one, or air, water pumps. And this one's a 190 or 180 gallon per hour pump. Um, so imagine having, so it just came out in need of because of the discus, because the discus is they're so dirty. So imagine having that on one side, and then on the other side, so it would be, how to describe it? It would be basically a hang-on back sump for the most part. And the way I'll do it, because I don't have acrylic experience. I don't have the correct tools to make like a watertight acrylic. So what I'm gonna use instead for now is and it's the same thing. It's just a bunch of tubes, um, a bunch of like PVC piping, and it will be a two-chamber sump. Um, so basically, the sump will be hang on the back, and so the water intake will go through here and go up and go through the sump. And here's the different thing. That's a little bit different than, and this is kind of like what I envisioned. Um, Instead of having the outflow simply pipe back in, it's gonna pipe into across the a PVC pipe all the way across, and that's gonna push water and waste back towards this side, where it's gonna get sucked up by the pump and get trapped in the sponge in the sump. So in a way, it'll be more of an active cleaning than what I think most aquariums have at the moment. So it'll just be it'll be an underwater current of water. This just kind of pushes waste into this area, and then hopefully this water pump will grab all of that stuff, break it down, and push it into the sump where it'll get caught by the filter. And I think that's really key for the discus because they're extremely messy. And even though I do the water changes, the 33% water changes, like the water is not clearing up at all. So I'm hoping this additional filtration will help that. And the other thing is, obviously, in this design, the heater will be separate, but I can imagine that the hang-on back sump in the future will be, what's the word for it? Will have a heater included. And also, when the output in this case, the output will just be whatever you want it to be. In this case, I'm gonna make a spray bar underneath, just to push the thing, and also I'm gonna connect the air hose or the air bubbles to that too. So you can imagine in the future, if you just want to direct the water flow across the top, right? You can have like a adapter for that. If you just want to spray it across the top, you could adapter for that too. If you want to have like a 180 spray, or put the bar in the middle, or do whatever you want to do, right? You can be able to do that. I think that's a little bit different from the hang-on-backs now, because the hang-on-back now, they're all just one direction. You have to put the hang-on-back at a certain place, and it's gonna only be that kind of cascading waterfall, like 45-degree angle. So how is this different from a sump? It's going to be just much cheaper than a sump, right? It doesn't have to go all the way down. You don't have to have something like underneath it, like in this case, right? This drawer will have. If I were to have a sump, one of these drawers is going to have the sump. You don't have to do that. It's just hang on the back. It's going to be much cheaper, um, and also, obviously, it's going to be powered by just one pump. Um, how is that different from a hang-on back? Well, the main thing is if you want it, you can do the active cleaning, which is across the bottom, which a sump can, or it's a which a current hang on back cannot do. It also has multiple. You'll have multiple options for the output, because I know, like for me, I would love to have a different option for the output, right? For on my hang on back and the discus at the moment. So that's the other thing, and it's also going to be bigger too, and you're just going to get more because it's only powered by the pump right there, and the plastic is just so cheap. You can just you'll just have more. You can design it any way you want it. I mean, ideally it'll just be like a 3 or 4 chamber sump where you can put like sponges, biomedia, whatever you want to do, and there are different levels of sponges. Yeah, so that's kind of the update. I'm definitely gonna do it. I did get a gift certificate for my local hardware store, so gonna use that to buy water and then also some equipment to create this new design. So in the future, coming very soon, I'm gonna have two different projects going. The first project obviously is the uh, finishing up the shrimp, the Neocardina shrimp, and and the other thing I wanted to try fancy guppy, but I'm not comfortable. I don't think I'm comfortable sending out live fish. I believe the shrimp have a better chance of survival than a live fish. I mean, maybe not. I never actually bought live fish. Maybe it's a little bit um I think with live fish, you just need to send it overnight. I think with shrimp, you don't have to really do it overnight. You can just do like a 2 day, maybe even a 3 day, right? Delivery. Maybe okay, maybe not a 3 day. You could do a 2 day, and I think with 2 days with fish, it's just game over. You need to overnight it. So anyway, and I also want to finish up the Neocardinas. And so it'll be Neocardina, yellow, definitely yellow. Not sure if it's orange or green at the moment. We'll see. And yeah, and also plant grow out. So moss only on one side. I'm not sure which moss yet. Maybe Christmas, maybe Java. I'm not sure. And on the other side, guppy grass and just a ton of and just dwarf water lettuce would be the two. All right. Hope everyone likes that update. I'll talk to you later.